In this video, we're going to give you the 7 key things you need for hobby success. Start off with the most basic thing, miniatures. Without miniatures, there is no hobby. So you need to get miniatures you like, things that interest you. Maybe you're interested in a fantasy realms. Well, you've got Age of Sigmar, you've got the old world. You're interested in Star Wars, sci-fi, that sort of stuff, you've got 40k. Cool, we've started off with that. How do we now decide, out of all the factions that are there, what we want to do? It's simple. Look at it. Look at the pictures. Look at the websites. What grabs you the most out of all of the pictures, the websites, even the fan-made stuff on Facebook? Whatever grabs you the most, that's what you want to grab. You've sorted your first point. Point 2, paints. There's a couple of ways about this. Games Workshop, Warhammer, they've put some really cool stuff out there, like the Citadel paint app. Fantastic. It gives you your triads of colours. It gives you your battle ready and your parade ready standards. But is that what you want? The other option is come across to YouTube. Have a look at what other creators are doing. Have a look at what I'm doing. If that's not for you, make it up yourself. Pick the paints you want. Limit your palette. Don't go too crazy with colours. Don't try and paint a model with 25 colours on it. Keep it simple. It's an old army saying, keep it simple, stupid. And we're going to apply it here to our miniatures. So we're going to choose 3 to 5 primary main colours on your models. And then you could choose another 2 to 3 accent colours. That's it. That's all you need. Work up and down. Get a shade below, a shade above. Cool. You've done it in a few paints. You've made it really simple. We're not trying to create Golden Demon miniatures every time we paint. We are trying to get models finished and on the tabletop. Brushes. There's a lot of conjecture about this one. A lot of people out there say get the best brushes you can afford. That's true. But sometimes the best brushes come from a pure, simple art store. You can buy little 2050 brushes that are fantastic. They'll last you just as long as some of the other brands. At the end of the day, brushes are a personal taste. The more you pay, the better quality you get, yes. But is it going to last any longer than a cheap brush? A dedicated workspace. Alright. This one's not necessarily about setting up a desk with a paint station and paint racks and having all storage and that for your models. This can be as simple as a tray. So when I started out painting, when we moved out of home, I got a partner, I had kids. My thing, I went to IKEA and I bought a tray. It was big enough to put an A3 cutting mat inside the tray. For years I used that. I could store it up on top of my cabinets and keep it away from the kids. I could then just pick it up, move it out to wherever I'm painting. In that time I was painting in my lounge room, sitting there with my wife, watching TV, painting models, building models, doing it all off that tray. Now I'm lucky enough to have gained an area in my house that I can have a permanent setup. It's an area, it hasn't got a door, but it's an area my kids aren't allowed in. It is my space for doing my hobby. And you need to create that yourself, be it with a tray or with a dedicated space. Time. We all work. We all have other commitments. But you need to make time for your models. A simple, easy to follow rule is 1 hour a night. If you can do 1 hour of miniatures a night, doesn't have to be painting, it can be assembly, it can be army list writing, it can be picking up a book, and reading the lore in the book, creating army lists like I said. It could be anything. Researching colours, researching what you want to do by looking through what other people are posting online, what's on the websites. If you spend 1 hour a day, you will find that it'll lead into that next step, which is motivation. By using your time appropriately and not so much all about painting, you can come back and draw from other people. You can get the motivation by playing games. You can get the motivation simply by scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram, looking on YouTube, and looking at what other people are doing. That'll get you motivated to actually get up and move and make time to paint your models. The last thing, and I reckon this is the most important thing, is a painting journal. What do I mean by that? So what we do, we use lots of colours. We'll mix up our own colours, we'll mix up our own shades, we'll mix up our own washes. But your brain can only contain so much information at a time. A lot of us work on multiple projects at a time, so how can we retain the information for, in my instance, I've got orcs, I've got ultramarines, I've got tyranids, I've got 7 necromunda gangs, I've got a kill team band, I've got 3 or 4 warcry warbands, all on the go at once. My brain can't contain the information for all of that. So I've done a simple painting journal, and we'll go through this more in depth later on. All it is, it's a list of the area of the model. For example, Space Marine armor, we'll use Ultramarines as the example. It's a step-by-step guide as to how I achieved my version of the blue. How I achieved my version of the trims around the shoulder pads, the chest eagles, the gun casings, the metals. Every time I pulled out a new colour, I would write it in that journal so that if I put that project down for a while, I could then pick it up, open my journal, know where I was at, know what colours I was using, and start fresh like I'd only just finished painting them yesterday. These are the key to success. This is 2024. It's the key for 2024. It's going to be the same key for 2025, 2026 onwards. This is your core principle about painting miniatures and about being successful and achieving your hobby goals. We're going to get back into our normal videos shortly. So we're going back to another Hobby Basics 101. We're going to focus on basing. It's going to be a bit of a talk, a little bit of a lesson, but it's going to be great for people coming back into the hobby. It's going to be great for new guys that are getting involved. It's going to be a really good series, especially for those new guys, especially, guys that haven't been into a Games Workshop or a Warhammer store and haven't had their introductory lesson and their introductory miniature and all that sort of stuff. This is going to help them get started in the hobby, so make sure you share this channel with them. Moving forward, we're going to be doing some more individual miniature painting. We've got a really nice one coming up at the moment for the Necromunda series we're going to be doing. We're going to look back at 40k. We're going to be looking into the old world. We know that's coming out very shortly, so we're going to smash out a unit for the old world. Keep your eyes open for that one because it's really going to be exciting. It's something that not a lot of other people are doing at the moment. They're focusing sort of on those lead 2 factions. Well, we're delving down a different path for another faction that's involved in that game. So stay with us, make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, share it, put comments down. I want to see you guys writing some comments so we know what direction you guys want this channel to head. If you're struggling with areas of the hobby, leave a comment, let us know where you're struggling, we'll see what we can do to help you out. Also, we've got a Facebook page going now as well, so jump on that, give us a like on there, and same thing, just start posting up your comments. Start sending us messages. We'll respond to as many as we physically can. We'll try and cover every topic you guys need covered to help you guys out. If that's where you're going to find your motivation, great. But they're the 7 key principles. If one of them fails, you may as well just sit on the couch and not be doing hobby. So just keep that in the back of your mind this year, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.